So hello everyone. So my name is Chris Osino Jr. So my topic is all about the chapter 3, the Boolean algebra and the digital logic. So before we proceed, let's see for the objectives. So the first objectives is to understand the relationship between Boolean logic and digital computer circuits. Number 2 is the learn how to design simple logic circuits. And the last one is to understand how digital circuits work together to form complex computer systems. So we have the introduction. So in the latter part of the 19th century, George Boole insists philosophers and mathematicians alike when he suggested that logical thought could be represented through mathematical equations. So we know the mathematical equations. So how dare anyone suggest that human thought could be encapsulated and manipulated like an algebraic formula? So nakagay naman ta sa algebraic mga expression nato in our mathematics. So computers as we know them today are implementations of Boole's law of thought. By John Atanasoff and Claude Shannon were among the first to see this connection. In the middle of the 20th century, computers were commonly known as thinking machines and electronic brains. Many people were fearful of them. Nowadays, we rarely ponder the relationship between electronic digital computers and human logic. Computers are accepted as part of our lives. Many people, however, are still fearful of them. So, in this chapter, we will learn the simplicity that constitutes the essence of the machine. So we have let's talk about the Boolean algebra. So what is Boolean algebra? So Boolean algebra is a mathematical system for the manipulation of variables that can have one of two values. So in formal logic, these values are true and false. So in the digital system, these values are on and off, or it is called, or example is 1 and 0, or high and low, or in other words negative as 0 and the positive is 1. So Boolean expressions are created by performing operations in Boolean variables. Common Boolean operations include and, or, and not. So this and, or, and not is the basic na mga operation of the Boolean algebra. So let's proceed. So we have the truth table for each operators of the Boolean algebra. We have the AND. A Boolean operator can be completely described using a truth table. So it represents at the right side, so it displays the truth table of its different operations. So we have the AND, Boolean algebra. So it states that if 1, so we have a statement of 0, which is the false, and 1 is true. So first statement nato we have all false. So meaning first statement nato all statement is false. So sa AND nga condition, if ang imong statement is all false, your answer will be false. So in another statement, if ang imong statement there is one false and there is one true, your answer is false. So ang technique ani, if ang imong statement na siya false, so automatic na siya, answer na is false. So same as the third statement, we have the true and the false, so which is the answer of that is false. So if ang imong statement is all true, so meaning one tanan, so automatically ang answer gid mo is the truth. So now let's proceed for the OR nga truth table. So sa OR nga truth table is reverse siya sa imuhang AND nga truth table or AND nga Boolean algebra. So dito sa first statement. So natural, if the first if ang imuhang statement is all false, so meaning 0 tanan, so your answer will be 0. But ang if na imong statement na siya usa ka false o na siya usa ka true, so your answer will be true. Like for example, first statement nimo is false and the second one is the true. So your answer will be true. A third statement is there is a true and there is one false, so your answer is true. So if the statement nimo is all true, meaning true tanan or positive tanan or one tanan, so your answer will be true nga statement. So reverse siya sa imuhang and nga truth table. Now let's proceed for the not. The truth table for the Boolean not operator is shown at the right. So kini so sa imuhang sa ra kay ang identify na ang not nga truth table, which is reverse lang nimo kung unsa ang imong gi-input. For example, imong gi-input is 0, so ma-reverse siya into 1. Or if imong gi-input is 1, so mo change ta into 0. So if imong statement is false, mahimo siyang true. If imong statement is true, mahimo siyang false. So take note, there is an operation of the Boolean algebra which is na siya indicator sa ibabaw, designated by a prime mark. So na siya mark sa ibabaw with if ang imong equation na siya mark sa ibabaw, so it means it is not, it mo na siya not. Then it is sometimes indicated by an overbar, so na siya bagis under sa imong equation, or an elbow, so na elbow sa imong equation. So sa imong and, if ang imong ang function sa and is multiplication, meaning product, multiplication ang imong equation nga gamiton if mag-create tag boolean nga equation. Diri sa tong or sa truth table or Boolean algebra nga or is addition, which is plus ang atong gamiton. So imong equation we have x and y, so meaning multiplication imong gigamit. X plus y, so addition ang imong gigamit under sa imong or nga Boolean algebra. So next, the Boolean function has at least one Boolean variable. So another thing is at least one Boolean operator and at least one input from the set 0 and 1. And it is also produce an output that is also a member of the set 0 and 1. So we have the truth table for the Boolean function. So meaning nag-create na ta og equation under sa atong Boolean algebra. So from this example, so we have the equation, the x, y, z. So we have a statement of x, y, and z. So kini siya is given na ni siya. Makita nimo na yung mga false or 0 and 1, so given. So mao ni atong given x, y, and z. So sa first nimo nga solution, so gipangita diri is not z. So meaning for ang unsa man ato ang equations under sa ato ang statement sa z sa given. So 0. So answer ana is reverse siya, mahimong 1. So as well as the 1, 0, mahimo siyang 0, 0 and 1, 1 and 0, 0 and 1, 1 and 0, 0 and 1 and so forth. So follow na siya. So next equation is gipangita is x. So mo ni imong under sa imong x nga given, we have these binary numbers and partneran siya sa z. So meaning dili na kamulantaw dire sa imong under sa z, kinakanat naman siya. So imong direct answer na lang, imong i-partner is ang not z and your x. So meaning unsa man gigamit nato nga truth table, di ba as I said last, it is and nga truth table. So meaning and ang ato ang gamiton since multiplication man iyang gi-apply. So partneran nimo na siya 1 and 0. So 0 and 1. So under sa ato ang truth table sa and, if there is false nga statement sa imong truth table sa and is your answer will be 0. So meaning 0 and 1, so 0. 0 and 1 is 0. So 0 and 0, so false and false, so natural 0 gina siya. So mangita ta og 1 all. So dire example sa statement 2 for 5. 1 under sa imong x and not z is 1. So your answer will be 1. So follow na siya. So part number 4. So the last given is the xg. So na naka-answer dire. So dire na nakamulantaw. Dayon plus, so unsa man yung plus? This is or nga truth table. And then partneran nimo sa y. Unsay value sa y? So diri maglantaw ka sa given nimo diri. So therefore xg with not partneran nimo sa y. So unsa ato ang truth table na gigamit? So or. So meaning if ang so bali sa imong and if there is a truth nga statement nga bisa pag usa ka buok, automatically ang answer na is truth. So 0 and 0, so false and false is false. 0 and 0 is false. 1 and 0, so na statement nga true, so your answer will be 1. 1 and 0, so na statement nga true, your answer is 1. So 0 and 1 na statement nga true, 1. 0 and 0, so natural ang answer will be false or 0. 1 1 true all, so meaning it is 1. 1 and 0, there is a statement is true, so your answer will be 1. So let's proceed for the Boolean algebra identities. So have an and form as well as an or sum. So ano siya? If and is product, or is sum. From we give our identity using both forms. Our first group is rather intuitive. So nakaagi naman tayo sa atong mathematics. We have the identity law, null law, idempotent law, inverse law. So saan form ano siya? Ang equation, and the or form is mao po niya siyang imong equation. So our second group of Boolean identities should be familiar to you from your study of algebra. So sa atong algebra, so naa magita diri sa atong cumulative law. So xy equals yx. So since ang form man atong gigamit, so meaning it is a multiplication. So xy is equal yx. So there is atong or form, mahimo na siyang x plus y equals y plus x. So there is atong associative law. So distributive gihapon is distribute ang mga variable if sa atong mathematics. So xyz equals x multiplied by yz. So there is atong or form x plus y, dayon imuhang i-close parenthesis and plus z. So imo ra siyang derive into different identity name. So let's proceed sa logic gates. So sa logic gates, we have a example of mga truth table. So we have the first one is your and, dayon or, not. So how many basics sa ito ang free under sa itong Boolean or mas di sa itong logic gate. X nor, and nor, and the last one is your none. So kini is the exclusive or, nimo exclusive or. Then kini is exclusive dot or, and not or, and then not and. So this is the definition. So let's talk about the and. So under sa atong and, so follow lagi hapon sa atong truth table sa atong Boolean. If there is 1, 0, your answer will be 0. 0 and 1 is your answer will be 0. 0 and 0, your answer will be 0. And 1, 1 is 0. So same if there is 1 nga full sa imong statement, your answer will be 0. So your logic bit symbol sa and, under sa imong and is like that. So this is your and. So your input is, for example, na kay input nga 1 and 0. So dali mo ibutang 1 and 0. So since logic gates man siya and, so your final output will be, if there is one statement is false, your answer will be 0. So if ang imong gi-input is all true, so your answer will be 1. So if all false, so natural is false. So this is the and nga logic gates. So let's proceed for the or. So sa or na to nga table, we have 0 and 0. Your answer is 0, 0 and 1. If, so bali siya sa atong and, if there is 1, your statement is true, your answer will be 1. 1 and 0 is equal to 1. All 1 natural is all positive or all true. So the symbol of that is like that. So bawog siya, mura siya bawog. Bawog ang imuhang tumoy-tumoy. So we have the input example 0 and 1. So since na siya ay true true nga statement, so your answer will be true. If ang imong gi-input is all false, so your answer will be false. If imong gi-input is all true, so your answer will be true. So this is the OR not statement. So proceed ta sa NOT. So sa NOT, matawag na to siya og inverter kung sa kuan pa nato sa engineering. So meaning reverse ra kung sa imong gi-input. So instead nga negative ang imong gi-input, mahimo siyang positive. So under sa ato ang NOT. So if ang imong gi-input is 0, so mahimo siyang 1. If ang imong gi-input is 0, mahimo siyang, if imong gi-input is 1, mahimo siyang 0. So your symbol of NOT is like that one. So na siya ay NOT, naka-NOT siya under sa imong symbol. So if imong gi-input is 0, so mahimo siyang 1. If imong gi-input is 1, mahimo siyang 0. So reverse lang siya kung sa imong gi-input. So let's proceed for the XOR gate. So XOR gate nimo. So under sa imong XOR, ang technique sa XOR nako is if ang imong statement is the same. So meaning parehas sila, false and false or true. So your answer will be false. If dili siya parehas, your answer will be true. So parang dali na itong sabdon. So meaning if imong gi-input or statement is 0 and 0, so your answer will be 0. If ang imong gi-input is all true, so your answer will be 0. So if ang imong statement is lahi siya true ug false, true and false, so your answer will be 1, true. So 1 and 0 is true. So meaning if ang imong gi-input is lahi, dili siya same, so true ang imong answer. If all false, so automatically answer nimo is true. So ang symbol sa XOR we have like that one. So meaning if wala ni siya, so matawag nato siya OR. So mo ni exclusive OR, so mao ra ni inclusive, it means kini siya is exclusive. So dito example, input na 0 and 0, so meaning same man siya o statement, so automatically answer is 0. If ang imong input po is all positive or all true, so your answer it the same with 0. If imong input is na siya ay positive or all true, 1 is true and 1 is false, so your answer will be true. So mao na siya under sa imong exclusive OR. So now let's proceed for the NAND. So meaning not and. So under sa imong true table, if all true, your answer will be true. Meaning if ang imong statement is all false, i-convert niya into ibalik siya, mura siya gi-invert, mahimo siyang true. If ang imong statement is all true, invert into siya. If ang imong statement is 1 and 0, so meaning kung i-technique ani, if ang imong gi-input is not the same, na true na apoy false, so your answer will be true. And another one is imong gi-input is 1 false and 1 true, your answer will be 1. So this is the NAND under sa imong logic gates. So symbol for NAND is ana. So mao man and na to. Akalahi lang gibutangan siya og NOT. So para matawag siya og NAND. So therefore, if ang imong input is 0, 0, so ang result niya is 1. Gibalik siya. If ang imong statement is all true or all nga positive or 1, so baliktad siya, mahimo siyang into 0. If ang imong gi-input is na dili siya the same, na 1 true, na po siya 1 false, your answer will be 1. Input kag 1 and 0, your answer is 1. Input kag 0 and 1, your answer will be 1. So this is for NAND. So So let's proceed, pre. Let's proceed for the XNOR. So sa XNOR na to is same ra gihapon siya o concepts na nan, but different na siya if ang imong gi-input is not the same. So meaning if ang imong gi-input is all false, your answer will be true. So reverse gihapon same sa ato ang not and kaganina. So if imong gi-input is all true, mahimo siyang false. So diri na pod balik siya sa imong nan. If ang imong gi-input is not the same, so na kay statement na false, na kay true. So your answer will be true or false. And if imong gi-input is true and another one is false, your answer will be false. So gi-reverse yan sa imong nan. So sa imong nan is one man to if ang imong gi-input is not the same, so mahimo siyang false. So balik na po siya sa imong XNOR. So as a summarize, so we have the logic, the not and non, or nor, XOR and XNOR. So kining ubos under sa imong ubos is the algebraic expression. So magamit nato ni siya into creating an equation. Kay reverse mo gani siya depende if ang imong gihatag is diagram, so imo siyang himuan og equation, or equation mo gihatag himuan po nimo siya og diagram with the use of logic gates. So as I said, sa algebraic expression na to or creating equation, if not under sa imong equation is na siya bagi sa ibabaw, so it means not. Sa and na to is gigamit is multiplication E and B. Sa NAND, E and B multiplication with na siya bagis sa ibabaw. Ang OR nimo is A plus B. So addition ang ginagamit, ang NOR, so meaning not OR. So meaning E plus B, gibutangan na po nimo siya og not sa ibabaw. So XOR, so E, so kini siya nga symbol with circle and niday plus ato nga. So mo na siya XOR, it represent with XOR nga algebraic expression. And the XNOR, so meaning XNOR, not OR or not XOR. So meaning E with your symbols, so with ligid in addition, B din na siya bagi sa ibuhang babaw, so not. So sa imong symbol pod sa mo pod ni not, symbol sa imong and, non, or, nor, and the XOR and the XNOR. So example ta, we have an example of this given or equation. So atong buhaton is ang given niya is equation. So gihatag niya is equation. So atong buhaton is we make a logic circuits nga ma-form nato into diagram. So imong technique buhaton is first gyud is nantaw nimo unsa ang first niya nga step under sa imong equation. So we have first nimo x plus y man. So x plus y meaning mao na yung first step nimo. So unsa man ni x plus y, unsa man ning logic gate ginagamit. So meaning it is OR nga logic gate. So draw kag OR nga logic gates diha. OR. So this is your OR. So create na ka og OR. Next is we have partneran man nato into siya nga z, which is z nimo nga input. So we have an x and y. So meaning z na pud imong pangitaon. So meaning z, unsa may i-partner nimo sa imong z? So unsa man ni siya nga symbol? Ini siya. So meaning it is XOR. So katong gi pakita na ko last. So your symbol sa XOR will be XOR ana. Then ay ana. So meaning, so this is your final output or output nimo. So ano man siya nga. So meaning x plus y. So kini equation naman x plus y. Then XOR with your z. So kung sa imong output dire, so partneran sa imong given nga z or equation given nga z. So for example tag input we have for example kini x na tay 1. Ang y nimo is 0 and z nimo is 1. So therefore sa imong diagram atong pangitaon ang output with this given nga input. So 1 and 0 under sa imong OR. Diba sa atong OR if ang imong statement is na ay true nga usa, so your answer will be true. So na kay first output. And then sa imuhang z, which is ang given nimo is 1, meaning true. So na kay gisulod nga true. So unsa man ni diri sa imuhang XOR. So meaning if imuhang input is all true, your answer will be false. So kay since XOR man nga through table. So your final output is 0. So meaning if nag hands-on nata sa ato ang digital or dito sa ato ang breadboard, so it means 0 so man siya. So meaning off na siya. So dili siya mo siga. So if 1 ang answer nimo, natural mo on na siya. So now let's proceed for the reverse na pod. For example, ang given na po niya is diagram, then imuha na pong pangitawon ang iyahang equation. So bali na po niya. So we have another problem. So now let's proceed for the reverse na po siya. Diagram na po gihatag, pangitaan na po nimo siya og equation. So meaning, ang equation so since magyapon, so follow the first step kung isa ang first nga diagram, first step, so mo kita yung pangitaan og equation. So dili ka pwede mag-break simulasan. Reverse ka. Okay, hindi sa na element. So first nimo, i-identify is niya logic. So unsa man nga logic? So therefore, it is none. None is siya none. So unsa yung equation ni input? So E and B. So we have E and B. So none man siya. So unsa to ang none? So therefore, butangan nato siya o bagi sa babaw. So para ma-identify nato siya, which is this is none. Next, so nakay input nga C, which is unsa man nga symbol. So this is your not. So i-reverse siya. So we have not. So C, ang second input nimo is C. Dayon ginat siya sa ibabaw. So this is your first na equation or first na logic, which is none, and the second one is your not. So dire na to sa final. So unsa man nga logic gate? So this is OR. So unsa operation nato gigamit or expression? So positive or plus. So therefore, first nimo nga gi-create nga logic gates is none and not. So sa imong final equation is so ato no E, which is your NAND, and unsa man siya nga digital logic, which is OR. So operation gigamit is plus not C. So this is your final nimo nga equation nga na-create based sa imong diagram given nga gihatag. So example ta, mag input 1 and 0. So for example, ang imong given is ang A nimo is 1, B nimo is 0, ang C nimo is 1. So understand na if ang imong statement is dili siya same, meaning true, one is true and one is false. So your answer will be true. And sa imong not, diba, reverse lang siya, imong gi-input is 1 or true, mahimo siya into false. So mahimo siyang 0 imong output. So meaning sa final output mo sa imong digital logic nga OR, so we have input na to nga 1 and 0. So under sa imong OR, if ang imong gi-input there is 1 true nga imong gi-input, your answer will be true. So 1 ang imong values na equals to y. So meaning unsa man 1? So this is on. So meaning in this example with this given nga imong gi-input numbers or 1 and 0, so dito sa imong breadboard mo na siya. So meaning siga. So now let's proceed for the unsa ano to pag hands-on sa ato ang breadboard with the use of this digital logic. So meaning if imong input is all true, your answer will be false. So kay since XOR man nga through table. So your final output is 0. So meaning if nag hands-on nata sa ato ang digital or dito sa ato ang breadboard, so it means 0 so man siya. So meaning off na siya. So dili siya mo siga. So if 1 ang answer nimo, natural mo on na siya. So now let's proceed for the reverse na pod. For example, ang given na po niya is diagram, Then imuha na pong pangitawon ang iyahang equation. So bali na po niya. So we have another problem. So let's start with our integrated circuits, which is atong i-apply ang atong ang logic gates, the AND. So basic lang nga logic gates atong i-hands-on into integrated circuits sa ato ang breadboard. So as you can see na siya ay number 7408, which is mao ni ang ato ang AND nga logic gates, and the 7432 is your OR nga logic gates, and the 7404 is your NOT logic gates, or matawag ato siya og inverter. So let's start. So component used atong gamiton is the breadboard, the 9-volt battery, the resistor, the jumper wires, lead, the 7408, your AND, the OR integrated circuit, and the NOT integrated circuit. So these are components nga atong gamiton sa ato ang breadboard. So we have this example is the AND nga logic gates or the AND nga integrated circuit. So ato lang ibutang sa ato ang breadboard. So be sure lang ma-plaster lang siya. As long as na siya yung mga space sa imuhang butangan sa imong mga jumper wires na, if daghan na kag input, and butangan sa imuhang lead sa imuhang output. So as you can see na siya 14 pin, the 7 sa right side and another 7 sa imuhang right side. This imuhang ground, so each nga integrated circuit is na siya ground, which is your positive ground and the negative ground. So there are 14 pins, so ang imuhang ika 14 and ika 7 is that is your ground. So we have ang imuhang 1 and 2 is your input, and number 3 of that is your output. 4 and 5 is your input, and number 6 is your output. So by adto na po sa ibabaw, your 8 and 9 is your input, and the 10 is your output. So this is our ground. So ato siyang butangan og jumping wires. So we have to connect it your ground number 14 into your positive nga ground. So another thing is the second ground is i-connect na to into your negative nga ground, so that your integrated circuits will be function. The next one is your lead. So butang na to in the line away from our integrated circuit. So longer lead towards the IC and the shorter lead away from the IC. So as we have this diagram na siya 3 nga output, which is ang imuhang output, which is 1 and 2 your input duha, and the 3 is your output. So we will connect into your longer leg of the lead, so that it will be identify if ang imuhang output is on ba or off. So before that, we will connect it your output from your line pin number 3 into your lead. So we have it connect na already your pin number 3 into your lead. So the next one is your resistor. So connect resistor from shorter leg of the lead to the ground. So meaning i-connect na to ang lead into the negative nga ground, so that it will be function. So next will be the input. So ang ato ang green is the input A. So meaning first input na to, ibutan na to sa first nga pin, which is it is negative or 0. Then the next input, the two output will be your input B, which is connected into negative also. So therefore, ang atong gi-input is 0 and 0 or negative. So the next one is para mo function atong breadboard, we will connect the both nga atong positive para maantana paran ang all nga pin sa imuhang breadboard, it will be function from positive to positive. So i-connect nimo from negative to negative. Both sides will be connection. And then connect to the battery. Para it will identify if is ang ato ang output is correct na ba. So from the truth table, so since and logic gate man atong gigamit, so therefore ang atong gi-input is 0 and 0 man. So therefore ang output niya is 0 as you can see in the truth table. So meaning switch off siya. So dili siya mo siga. So the next one is your input na po nato is 0 and 1. So meaning positive or negative. So as you can see in the truth table, so na-prove na to which is off siya. So meaning dili siya mo siga. So another condition, if ang atong i-transfer into positive all or negative 1 all. So meaning musiga siya from your input, all positive ang imong gi-input. So therefore from your truth table under sa imong integrated circuit, so ma-on siya. If imo siyang ibalhin into 0 or negative, so mo off. If imo siyang ibalhin into positive, so mo on siya. So therefore it is your AND logic gates, your 7408 gives a high voltage only when all of the inputs are in high voltage. So meaning if all positive, so therefore mo siga siya. So based from the table, ato na prove na it is correct. So now ato siyang i-replace from 7408 your AND with 7432, which is your OR nga logic gates or integrated circuit. So ato lang i-remove. So we will remove it and ato siyang pulihan into your OR nga integrated circuits. So sa OR nga integrated circuits, same ra gihapon, we have 14 pins. So same input ra gihapon, 1 and 2 is your input and the 3 is your output. So 4 and 5 is your input and 6 is output. So it the same, 7 and 14 is your ground connection. So we will see or we will prove the truth table. So from that example sa ato ang gi-hands on, ato siyang all 0, meaning all negative if musiga ba siya. So therefore dili siya mo siga. So we will connect it into the battery. So we will know if it is mo-on siya. So therefore dili siya mo-on. So why man? Because the truth table of the OR is if ay mong gi-input is all negative or all false, so your output will be false or 0. So therefore switch off siya. So dili siya mo siga. If ato siyang in-transfer into positive or there is one statement nga true, so output niya is musiga. So meaning mo on siya into transfer. So if ato siyang ibalik into 0, so mo off. If ato siyang another statement na pod, if ay mo hangi input is first is true and the input B nimo is false, so therefore musiga siya. So natural, if all true or all one imong gi-input, so it should be switched on. So sa under sa imong OR atong balikon, if there is an statement nga true, so natural musiga gina siya. So if all false, so it will be off or false ang imong output. So 7432 or the OR gates nimo gives a high voltage when there is one or more input has a high voltage. So mao ta ko ang ingon kaganina. So and now let's proceed with the NOT nga logic gates or the NOT nga integrated circuit or the inverter. So ato siyang pulihan. So it the same ra gihapon sa ato ang logic gates nga nagihapon tay ground. Your 14 ground and the 7 nga pin nga ground, but different na nga to ang input because your inverter is since input and output, meaning pin number 1 is your input and the second pin is your output. The third pin is your input, and the fourth one is your output. And the 5 is your input, and the 6 is your input. So direkta, so meaning usara ato ang input. So inverter man siya. So this is your integrated circuit. So meaning as the show in the diagram, so input, output, input, output, input, output. Then input, output, and so forth into pin number 13. So now, we will connect into your input sa imuhang LED. So since input and output man imuhang integrated circuit sa imuhang NOT, so i-connect into nimo sa imuhang pin number 2. So we will connect it pin number 2. So therefore, magkuha tag another input, which is i-connect na to either 1 or 0 or negative. So for now, i-connect na to into sa imuhang negative nga ground or 0 nga input. So therefore, ni-input ka og 0, then ma-output siya og 1. So meaning, musiga siya. So we will connect into battery. So as para malantaw na to if it is correct ba siya. So input sa positive and negative under sa atong battery. So therefore, musiga siya. As you can see sa ato ang truth table, if 0 imong input or negative, so the output of that is your a positive or mo-on siya since 0 man ato ang input. So i-invert lang siya or balihon. So therefore, musiga siya from the negative nga imuhang input or 0. So if aton ibalhin into positive, so therefore from positive mahimo siyang negative. So from 1 to 0. So the result of that is switch off siya. And then if imo siyang ibalhin into 1, mahimo siyang 0, mahimo siyang 1. So therefore mo siga siya. So this is the example of your NOT nga logic gate, which is the number 7404 simply inverts the input. So that is your or a NOT nga integrated circuits. So that's all of my discussion, and thank you for listening, and bye bye.